Okay, joining us now live via Zoom is the Director General of the National Council on Climate Change, Tenioye Majekdunmi, to speak more on the issue. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay. Now, a stakeholders' data planning and assessment engagement for Nigeria's second biennial transparency report and fourth national communication to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change currently is underway in Lagos. Could you explain what these reports are about and their significance for Nigeria?
Certainly. Thank you so much for having me. And, both our biennial transparency reports and the national communications are official reports that every country that is a party to the UNFCCC must prepare and submit. They serve as part of the global system for tracking how countries are responding to climate change. Just to put it in a nutshell for those who are not climate experts. And so the BTR, which is the Biennial Transparency Report, is a new format that just allows, in a nutshell, the GHG emissions, allows countries to submit their reports every 2 years. Then it tracks things like the progress in implementing your nationally determined contributions, the kinds of supports that country needs to be able to develop their financial, technological, and capacity building supports. And then also domestic arrangements. Whilst the NC4, which is the National Communications, is more of a comprehensive report that countries have been submitting since the early days of the UNFCCC. And it includes, things like the national circumstances of that particular country. For instance, the economic profile, the population. Then it shows the inventory, which is the greenhouse gas inventory of that country. Then the vulnerability and the adaptation assessments, then also information on the research. So all these little things go about and to create your national communications. And normally the communications are submitted a lot less frequently than the BTR. BTR is usually every 2 years, but the NC4 is submitted less frequently, about every 4 to 5 years. So it allows for a broader picture of a country's climate profile to be, fully enhanced. So, if we now go to why these, reports matter for a country like Nigeria, it does mean a couple of things, but I'll just touch on what the important things are. And it increases transparency and accountability for that particular country, because it would demonstrate, for instance, in Nigeria, how Nigeria is meeting our international commitments under the Paris Agreement of the UNFCCC. It also builds credibility and trust in Nigeria's climate actions on the global stage. So these documents are quite important to showcase our readiness to access climate finance, to show our national planning and our coordination within the country and also internationally. And it shows the strength and our data strengthening and capacity building. So pretty much in a summary, these two documents are kind of like the how do I put it now? They're vital tools pretty much for tracking Nigeria's progress in cutting our emissions. And then also they strengthen our national climate governance systems. So it positions Nigeria as a transparent, accountable, and credible actor in the global climate space, in a nutshell.
Okay, thank you so much for that explanation and, of course, for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Same here.